the driver's seat of your story and deciding that it's going to be extraordinary no matter what. I am talking with my friend Shiva Rose about the power of staying curious and open to all possibilities and leaning into your creativity at every turn, no matter what life presents to you. Shiva and I have known each other for many years. We met when we were both theatre majors at UCLA, and we bonded over our love for the theatre and film and social advocacy. And over the years, we have had many wonderful conversations, and I'm really excited that you get to participate in this one. Shiva is an actress, a wellness writer, activist, and author of Whole Beauty. And she's also the founder of the natural skincare company, Shiva Rose Beauty. And there are many things that I love about Shiva. She is kind and generous and really open and honest about her experiences. And I have seen her thrive through the ups and downs of life over the last 30 years. From Hollywood red carpets, hanging out with the most famous people in the world, to a heartbreaking public divorce, to developing life-threatening diseases after the birth of her first daughter, and then raising her two girls as a single mother in California, and building a wellness company, to falling in love with a cowboy in the most unexpected way and moving to rural Texas. And at every turn, she listens with an open heart and meets life with curiosity. She doesn't let challenges extinguish her creativity. She just allows it to take on a different form. And like me, she relies on the power of art and play and food and nature, spirit, the wisdom of other women and ancient rituals to celebrate life. And we are going to talk about all of it. So let's dive in and get the skinny from Shiva Rose. Oh, Shiva, we have known each other for a long time, since we were girls, really. So it's so wonderful to be having this conversation in a public way about creativity. Oh, and the ways that you express yourself and use your voice in the world. So did you learn that that was important as a young girl, or did that come later for you?
Wow, what a good question. Just right off the bat, like right out the gate. You just like that's just so you.
We're diving into the deep, baby.
I mean, yeah, literally diving in the deep. It's like I'm prepared for any question, but that one I'm like, wow.
No, you are prepared.
No, well, I grew up in Iran. I'm half Iranian, so I don't know if that was like as celebrated as it would be here.
That's why I asked you.
The culture. Yeah. But I think I don't think I had a choice. I think like if you're an artist, you don't have a choice. Like I
When did you know you were an artist?
I don't think I knew any different, right? That's the thing with artists.
So it was just in your bones, in your cells, in your heart.
Yeah. I think ballet, I was obsessed with ballet. Obsessed. Like ballet was for me, that was the vehicle. I just wanted to be a dancer, and I was obsessed with all the Russian ballets, all the music. That was probably my entry into being an artist. And I went
through
to a school
your body. So there was an embodied sense.
But it wasn't, to be very honest with you, I wasn't probably the greatest dancer. And it was more all the things, the set direction, the artistic direction, the clothes, the tutus, the music, which is why I became an actress later. Because I think it's like all the things that lead you to the theater, really, right? Those are all the things that come alive when you're in the theater. It's that world. It's the make-believe world.
What do you love about the theater specifically? Because that's you and I. We could talk forever about this.
I know, and that's what I love, that we have that bond. I mean, and people don't know, but you're also half and half, which I think is.
And I lived in Iran before the Ayatollah. Yeah, I lived with my dad was training people for Iran Air, and my mum spoke Iranian. Sometimes she wore a chador. I'm part Chinese, Malay, Dutch, Indonesian, then part English, Irish. And it was a beautiful time. I was very, very young, so I have sort of
Yeah.
sporadic memories of that time. But gosh, I would love to go back one day.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I hope we do. I hope we get to go to
Oh,
the
wouldn't that be
sea.
fun to do that together?
I
Oh,
know.
God.
I know.
That would
It'd
be
be amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. But the theater. So that yes, we have a lot. You and I have a lot in common. We have
Mm.
our passion for the theater, the arts, being from different cultures, food, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
UCLA, of course,
Yes, where we met. Oh,
where we
I remember
met.
seeing you across the quadrant and thinking, who is that glorious,
Oh,
magnetic, exquisitely beautiful creature? And then just to find out that your
aw.
heart was even more beautiful
Thank you,
was a
Tess.
true gift. But we did
Thank
really
you.
bond over our love for theatre specifically.
And for those that don't know, I just got chills. We auditioned for a play that I wanted so badly, and you got the role. You got the
And then
lead.
you got another amazing role the following year that everybody
Oh,
wanted,
did I?
you know.
Was that Persephone? What was that play? The one that you did, the Greek
The Love of
one.
the
The
Nightingale
Love of the
by
Nightingale,
Timberlake
yes, which is
Wharton
my
Baker.
yes, Timberlake.
Oh, it's
I mean,
an
just the
exquisite
name.
play.
Timberlake
Divorce
Wharton.
roles for women. Divorce roles for women. I was so fortunate to get that role as a
That
freshman
was
2 weeks
which
into the term. It was quite
incredible.
extraordinary.
But you were
Yeah.
great in that role.
Thank
You were
you.
great in that role.
Thank
It was a
you.
beautiful play. So yes, the theater. I mean, I grieve sometimes because I think like, what's going to happen when the boomers go? Because aren't they the ones supporting the theater? I mean, maybe in
Yeah.
Australia there's more of a theater culture with younger people, but I really like get worried. Like, where is because
Yeah.
like they are funding like these worlds, and I spent so much time and energy at my theater in LA and Venice, and I would love like these obscure French plays by Giraudoux, that are
Yeah.
like fairy tales. And you go into this little black box and you shut out the world and you just play and make these worlds up. I mean, what could be
Yeah.
better? Truly.
Yeah. And you don't need a lot of money, like poor
Don't.
theatre in a black
Yeah,
box. And
totally.
imagination and good writing and great
Yes.
actors and a willingness for the audience to be transported. And that's all you
Yes.
need.
That's all you need. Exactly. You and I have done theater with, nothing and also huge budgets. And you're
Yes.
right. It's just the
Yes.
heart that matters and the
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love theater.
And what do you love about food? Let's talk about this other thing that we have in common.
I mean, food is, I wrote about, I love you to read my Substack because I wrote a Substack about when I got awakened to food because yes, in Iran, there was beautiful food and ritualistic and gorgeous. And then my mom cooked, but it wasn't really until I was, what's it called? Recruited by a call girl woman, a madam.
Okay, I got to hear more about this.
I was in LA, 18 at a party, and she recruited me to go on this trip with a sheik on a yacht. Long story short, you'll have to read the Substack. It's actually very funny. But her and I, Deborah, became friends, and she was older than me, obviously. And I remember when she said I became kind of her assistant. I didn't end up becoming a call girl, of course, but I
was like, wait, you've been holding out on me. I don't know that chapter of the Shiva story.
I know. It's quite a story. But I would assist her, and she took me to the Santa Monica Farmers Market when I was 18 and had me like schlepping her bags. And that was when I was like, oh, wow. The food you buy at the market, the processed,
it's glorious.
stuff they give us is not food. This comes from the farmer into the stall, into your hands. And then she would teach me, like she would take an avocado and, squeeze some lime and sea salt and, put up some feta cheese and like fresh, peaches sliced up with balsamic. She blew my brain, and she was this eccentric, woman. I don't even know what's happened to her, but she was like my entryway into food. And I got it. I got that made me feel different, and made me feel better. Right. You and I healed each other through our diets healed us.
Yes, we did. Yes. And this love of the land and spirit is just weaving through you all the time. So when did that part of you get awakened?
Hmm. Oh gosh, Tess, you are so good. um, I would say, definitely, I think the first time was in New Mexico, which I actually have a house in now, was
Mm,
when I did a Native American sweat at the age of 20. And it was like a
yes.
very arduous, hard, 3 hours long,
I
but
remember
when
you telling me about
I
this.
told you about that. Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. And then,
Like, didn't she tell you to take your tampon out or something?
oh my God, your memory is
Yeah,
insane. It wasn't
I
me. It was
remember
my,
this
my
story so
friend.
vividly because I was doing
Wow.
sweats as well and we were talking about it and you said, no,
Wow.
she said to bleed into the earth, and it was just
Yes,
this, you'd
she
never
told my
experienced
friend
anything
that.
like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that kind of, because my connection to the earth after having gone through that, I really, you feel like you're hallucinating when you get
Yeah.
out.
You actually, I feel like I do sometimes in sweats.
Yeah, you do. See, I don't know if I have the constitution anymore, to tell you the truth. I don't know if
Oh,
I can
God.
have, I
I
could
mean, look,
probably handle it, but
you
you
can do,
know,
there's gentle ones and more full on ones, and it depends who's leading it and what time of the
yeah,
cycle you're in. And, you know all of
exactly.
this,
And
where it can be very
saunas, I
different.
guess.
Yes.
Could go in a
Yes.
sauna.
See, I
But
get in my infrared sauna every day. So,
me
I
too.
really love heat.
Yeah,
You either love it or you don't, right? Or,
yeah.
so,
No,
but
I
I
do love
do,
it. I do love
yeah,
sauna.
yeah, likewise. It really, I find it very, very therapeutic and very calming for my nervous system,
Yes,
and I don't
yes.
find cold as calming.
Me too. No, no,
Yeah.
not at all. And in Ayurveda, in fact, they say it's not good for women, the
Yeah.
cold all the time.
Yeah.
They actually say that. But I would say later when I was after divorce, land, being on the earth and nature helped heal me when I was
Oh,
very
tell me more about
heartbroken.
that.
Well, I was really depressed after a 16-year marriage ended. And then I was in a tumultuous thing with someone that you and I know from
Yeah.
UCLA.
Oh, you and I debriefed a lot about that. Yeah.
Yes. So I
Woo!
decided to take a break from men and just sort of process all this, which I think every woman after a long relationship should do. And I had a German Shepherd. I lived in Los Angeles in the Santa Monica Mountains. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll hike. That's what people do. But it was actually such medicine for me to get it out of my body. The
Mm,
grief, like
mm.
things get stuck in our body. And I'm not a big athlete, like yoga was always hard for me, things like that are hard, but walking in nature without your phone, you've got your animal and just like connecting to that was medicine. That started me too on the path of
Mm.
connection.
And then
So
how did that develop for you when you felt better, you had that connection, and then you really leaned into that part of you? I mean, you
yeah,
did in a
I always
beautiful way.
say I'm pre-goop. I like to say I'm
Well,
PG.
I mean, we all like to say that, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. We're
It's
all
just,
pre-goop. We were doing this stuff way before, right? Because we
mm,
had to. We didn't have a choice. Like it was life or death. Like I had to heal myself. I had to become my own medicine person. And I don't know if you know, but when I had my first daughter at 25, I was could not recover, and I went to had this patch on my back, and I went to a dermatologist, and he said, "Oh, you have to go to a rheumatologist like today." So I went to a rheumatologist in Beverly Hills, and after my blood work, he sat me down, my mom and I, and he said I had a year to live. Because I had lupus, scleroderma, and rheumatoid arthritis. And it was like the combo of all three. Basically, it was like a death sentence, and I had a baby. So I was like, no, no,
yeah.
this is not my story. So that actually catapulted me towards this. Well, not for a long time, though. I was just an actress and I dabbled in holistic stuff. I went to a Sikh doctor instead of
Mm.
him, Dr. Saram Khalsa. And it's so ironic because years later I would become I almost converted to Sikhism. Went very deep into Kundalini, and he was the one, he said, I will make you feel better in 1 year. So it was like those two different diagnoses, one from
Mm.
allopathic medicine and one from functional, more,
Mm.
natural-based medicine. So that prompted me on this journey that I'm still on, right? It's like
Yeah,
an onion. I don't know if
it
you're ever there,
is. It
you know.
is. And it gets sweeter and juicier the more you
You
peel the
are,
layers.
I wish I had a podcast so I could put you on it. Just-
Well, knowing you, that's probably coming down the pipeline, I would
no, no,
imagine.
no.
If
I'll
it
be done.
speaks to you, if it
Yeah.
does, right? Who knows? This is the thing about the glorious incantations of you, is that this, I don't have a choice, that you keep saying. You really do listen to your heart and your spirit, and you are guided and led by it.
Thank
And that's a
you.
beautiful way to be. And so we don't
Yeah.
know. We don't know
Yeah.
what you will do in the
We
future.
don't
And
know.
I can't wait. I can't wait
I
to,
mean,
to, to
I'm
partake in
in
it.
freaking Texas. I live in the boonies, Tess.
I mean,
You would
who
never
would have
ever
thought,
thought.
right? But you moved for love.
I did.
You
I
moved for love. And
I did.
I've moved across the world for love, and I've
Yes,
moved
you
to the
have.
boonies. You know I have. I mean, just,
I know.
I think that's the best reason to move.
Yeah, I guess so. But it is, like you said, you don't know. I don't know. Just listening and following the threads, the crumbs, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the crumbs.
Mm.
So there's one thing to heal yourself and to go, yeah, this really resonates and speaks to me, and I'm going to be guided by my heart, and I'm going to do this for me. And then decide to build a platform and share and guide others. So take me inside of that, where you decided to start a website. You then you wrote a book. Beautiful book. I love your book.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was it? Was that it? I have to do it moment?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the blog, I was an actress like you, but when I got divorced, I had to stay home. I couldn't do these parts, in acting, you're traveling mostly. Most things shoot outside of LA. And so I was like, what? I need to work, but I have these two little girls, and so what can I do? And then and that was such early days. My gosh, I don't even remember, but it was so, I think I had two people, reading my blog. It was just,
same, you and me. Was it your mother and your best friend?
I know.
Same.
And
I'm like, who's reading this? It was my mother and my sister.
Yeah, right. And me. always listening to your work. But I had this guy, I don't know what happened to him. He helped me build my first website, which was a disaster. It was not navigatable at all. His name was Napoleon.
I love how we could laugh about this.
I know.
Because it just doesn't matter.
No. And it was such a, and I was like, I wanted to earn money eventually from this. I was like, this is, I have to support ourselves. But I remember Napoleon would say, he always said, just do it. Put it out
of
there,
course you had a web designer who was called Napoleon.
I know. I was like, I actually don't know where he is, but he must have been doing a bunch of positive workshops. He must have been doing all what were the things in LA, like Est, and I don't know.
Yes.
There was that other one. I never did them, but I feel like he must, because he'd come to me and he'd be like, no, you're doing it. You've got a vision, you're doing it. And I'm like, but there's two people. He's like, it doesn't matter. You put it out there, the energy, and it will come. But he was right. I mean, God bless him, because I don't know if I would have continued,
Yeah.
And then
they came in their thousands.
Well,
yes.
The blog led to, the wellness world, which you and I have been a part of for so long.
Yeah.
And then the skincare line came from that. So it was like one thing led to another, and then.
It's been beautiful to watch. So with the book, what was that like for you, being a writer for the first time in a very public way?
Well, that's, again, a very interesting thing, because the years before this book came out, I remember I was using a friend as an agent, and we went and pitched it to all these places in New York, all these publishers. And it was just like, nope, too hip. Nope. All no's, door slamming in your face. And, it was hard, because I'd written all the synopsis and all the paperwork, and I was like, okay, this is not They don't want it. Fine. But then years later, like then it's all about timing, right? It's
Yeah.
all about timing. It started to, I met an agent and she was like, no, I love this idea. And then the first publisher I walked into, Artisan,
Which is
Leah,
a beautiful publisher.
beautiful
They do
publisher.
beautiful books.
Beautiful. And Leah, as soon as I sat down, it was like,
Yeah.
she's like, it was like, we knew it's like dating,
Yeah.
when you're going to meet the person.
Yeah.
And it was just like green lights all the way. It just flowed so easily. I mean, that's when you know, right? That's like, I think when you do enough work and you realize if you keep getting, which as an actress is hard because we were raised as actors to soldier ahead. You keep getting rejected. You keep getting rejected. You keep
I mean, that
soldiering
is what
ahead,
one
right?
really wonderful thing about being a jobbing actor is that muscle of getting rejected is so flexed and it is used every single day. So,
Right.
yeah.
And that's partly why Gwyneth probably does so well because she was an actress. She's not, she gets so much criticism and this and that and just, blows off her shoulder, I think, pretty much. But yeah, because of that, like imagine you're rejected 99% of the time.
Yeah.
So you have to really build that muscle. So the
And
book,
often the
book is like
rejection
that.
has nothing to do with you.
100%.
That's the
Yes.
that other piece we know when we're on the other side of it is that it's about, oh, well, we have somebody else who looks like that, or, that person reminds me of my wife,
except for
or,
love of a
whatever. I
night-
mean, it's just the
except for
dumbest
love of a
reason
night-
sometimes.
Love of a nightingale, though, I would say.
Oh.
Just kidding. I'm not holding on. Tess.
Oh, listen, I mean, it's funny that you bring this up because it's so long ago now, but I remember I almost did an audition for that. Well, I didn't actually. They chased me across the courtyard and asked me, right, because of something I'd said in a class or something. But I remember the day the cast sheet went up and like I was a freshman, I didn't know anybody, and all the seniors and the graduate students were all like clamoring around because everybody wanted that role. And I remember literally two girls go, who the hell is that bitch? Everybody just had claws and fangs for me. I literally retreated and I disappeared and I went back to my dorm room. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, yeah, it was full on. So you're probably not the only one holding on to it.
No, I love it. I love
You're hilarious. So you did the book and with a beautiful publisher and, it's gorgeous and it's out there.
Thank you.
And then it morphs into the skincare line. So take me inside that. It has to be me because, I mean, to bring a physical product that is perishable to the market, oh, that's a long, tough road, right? As you know, I'll never be inside of that. But I remember your garage and all of the potions and the jars and you figuring this out. And so take me inside of that. It has to be me moment where you went, no, I'm going to do this.
Well, again, it was. I feel like I was channeling, to be honest. I was doing a lot of Kundalini yoga and I was doing it with Guru Jagat, who passed away, but she was a dear friend of mine and an amazing teacher. And I was very consistent because it was happening in my canyon with another friend. We would meet. And there was one particular day we did a 2-hour class and there were 3 of us, we each had a download that day. And my friend Jennifer had the download to open a store in Venice called Pearl, and she did.
Yeah.
Guru Jagat had the vision to open Rama.
Yeah, Rama Studio.
She did.
Where I had my first book launch party, and she spoke at every one of my book launch parties.
Oh my goodness!
She did the prayer. She did the prayer at all 3 of them. Yeah,
I just got another connection we have.
I know, it's crazy, right?
I think we need to go on holiday together, you and I.
Yeah.
And then my download was I was making this face oil for myself for about 15, 20 years from oil. And at this point, oils were blasphemous. Like nobody wore oils on their face. Like it was just taboo. But it came to me in that day on a download. Oh, I need to bottle this up I need to sell it. I need to have it's white, like the Kundalini vibes, the high vibration, the rose. It just came
And
to
Rose
me.
opens
So
the heart chakra.
Rose opens the heart. It's my grandmother's name. It's my name. It all lined up in that meditation. So I just, it was the right place, right time, because that's right when, there were so few lines. Like for me, I kept thinking I had to go to like granola hippie stores to find non-toxic
I
makeup or
remember.
products. They didn't sell them. I mean, truly,
And
you
you
had
were
to go to
sending
like
me
the,
home. You were sending me home with little potions that you were
yes,
trying. Take some home.
potion.
Try it. Tell me what you
Yeah.
think. It's like, it's fabulous. I don't want to waste your precious stock here.
No, but that's my favorite part is the
I
formulation
know.
and that, it's like creating a story. It's like creating a story. But I realized there were so few like chic, elegant, non-toxic. There was only Tata Harper really, who I'm sure you
Yeah.
know, Tata Harper, and May Lindstrom had just started. So there was
Yeah.
only those two. And I was like, wow, this is like an area. There's nothing non-toxic, elegant, chic that you want on your counter, that's not in some like strange bottle. So
Well, it is elegant and chic. And so you started with the oil and
I
then
started
it
with the
grew.
oil. It grew. Yeah, it grew. And it grew, I was working out of my garage, which, and then,
as do most people when they start a cottage business.
yes. Yes, I
Yes.
think I had read something about Helena Rubinstein. I don't know. I need to follow up on this. Maybe it's not her, but I remember reading somewhere where she was like a divorcee mom, a single mom, and in the 30s or 40s, and she started making products in her bathtub in her apartment in New York.
Wow.
And then like 20 years later, she had a dynasty, So I think there was
Yeah.
some like story that I was like holding on to in my head.
Yeah.
And again, I could stay home. I didn't have to travel. I could drive my kids to school. I could like, make my own hours. And I'm not, I'm an Aquarius. I'm not good with like structure. Like I need to like be free, like go work, go make myself a tea, go work, go listen to a mantra. I need that flow, that more feminine,
Yeah.
circular flow rather than like a linear office 9 to 5. That just is so hard for me.
Mm.
So it was an answer.
Oh, I love that. It was an answer. Mm. What was it an answer to?
To having a vocation that where I was my own boss, where, I mean, by the way, people who have their own businesses know also how difficult that is because you can't really shut it off. You don't like, you're
I
thinking about
do.
it even when I mean, very well. And there's that. And then also the buck stops with you, right? Like, yes, people can mess up like the packaging or this or the shipping that, but then at the end of the day, it's me. So there are a lot of challenges. And right now too, I feel like I'm a little like, what do there's no one to go to get, I mean, there's friends, but really
Oh,
I
no,
have to
I
figure
know
it out.
exactly what you mean when you say that. As an entrepreneur and a solopreneur, even when you've got an amazing circle of friends and family and colleagues and even mentors and so forth, it can be a lonely journey at times.
Yeah.
And when the buck stops with you and you've got to make these decisions and it's your baby, oh, sometimes it
Yeah.
feels like you can't find your footing and you're not really sure and you've got to go in again, don't you?
Right. You
And
just go,
right? And find that I
yeah.
have to moment again. It has to be me. I have no choice moment that you
Right.
speak
Right.
about.
Yeah.
So what was it that kept you going in those challenging times as you were growing that business?
Mm. Well, I think it's like feeling, if I have orders, I feel compelled to fulfill them. So it's like my
Mm,
word, like honor, right? There's
mm,
honor and having your word. And maybe that's something that, maybe I don't know. I feel like, is it a generational thing? But I don't know. But I think it's a thing that we need to keep instilling, right? You can't
absolutely.
just, because yes, we could quit and walk away, but I don't know if that's ever the answer to anything. So that kept me going, and also I love the stories of these products. I mean, there's a
Mm,
product named Fata Morgana, which is based on a play that was done at Pacific Resident Theater at my theater company in Venice about this beautiful Hungarian woman, and she's like an apparition, which is what Fata Morgana means. But this product is like a souffle barrier cream, and I was like, oh, like that's my favorite part. It's like combining the ingredients with the story. So that to me, that's like I'm still acting, right? I'm still telling
Yeah.
I'm a storyteller. However,
Yes.
the vehicle has changed. So I think that's that's what keeps me going, to be honest.
The story. Yeah, that really speaks to me because we're telling stories in multiple ways. So we go back to your dancing, being in a
Right.
story, with the cooking and the food, we're inside of a story and telling a story. Your books, your writing, your Substack, being in the theater, being a mother, being a
Right.
woman, being a spiritual being, is the story keeps you going.
The story. And also, I have to say the ingredients too. I mean, there's nothing
Ooh.
better than finding an ingredient that no one's really tapped into that is incredible. You know, like there's just a part of me that nerds out on things, and like I'll do tons of research on like an herb or a peptide or a stem cell or something. I mean, I like to be more in like the plant world, not as much in the chemical world. However, that's also so exciting, just discovering things, you know.
Yeah,
So
the discovery and the endless
discovery.
curiosity. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what's an ingredient that has excited you like no other?
Well, bakuchiol, probably many people have heard of. It's like they say it's equally as effective as retinol, but it's an Ayurvedic herb. So it does
Mm,
exactly what retinol does, but retinol over time can thin your skin and make you
mm.
sensitive to the sun. Whereas like bakuchiol does everything retinol does, but it's not going to hurt your skin. I mean, that's very exciting. That's been on the market for a while with a lot of skincare people. But there's another one called Biden Pelosa, which is also like a really unusual plant. So yeah, these things. And right now I'm on a Japanese kick. I'm like really, I'm really into like Japan and like what they do with skincare. I know
Well, when
Korea
you
is
look
like,
at their skin, you're like, yeah, I'll
I
have me
know.
some of that. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, the Korean thing is like a whole nother level and
Oh,
planet.
yeah, absolutely.
That's like too advanced for me. I want to go like to old Japan, like what the geishas did, and you know, the
Yeah.
sake, the rice water, the uzu, the hinoki. Like I don't know what, who knows? I'm following the crumbs again, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, I cannot wait to see what cake you make out of those crumbs.
Thank
Yeah.
you, love.
Wow. You speak about Japanese culture, some of these Asian traditions. Tea ceremony is a
Mm.
very big part of your life. Like anytime I would say, let's
Yes,
get together, you were like, yes, come over and let's have tea ceremony, is what you would say. Yes.
I did. Oh,
Yeah. For those of you listening and not watching, Shiva's pointing to her tea, picking up her teapot that is always nearby. Tea ceremony is such an exquisite ritual.
so beautiful.
How did you find your way into that?
Hmm. Yeah, that was you know, through my sister Balin. She it's a really actually a funny story. I went to her house. I just saw her in New Mexico. She's lives not far, well, kind of far from me in New Mexico, but I don't mind driving 2 hours to see her. She lives on the top of a mountain and she's got like a tea temple up there.
Oh,
Uh,
I would drive 6 hours for that.
right, I know.
Yeah.
And she has a wolf dog.
Oh,
Like she
I'm
really
sure
is,
she
like she's
does.
a priestess in like the
Yes.
real, you know, she is a priestess. She's not, it's not for show, you know,
Yeah.
she's living that life. So my sister Balin, probably like, gosh, like 13, 14 years ago now. God, I don't even know. Oh, more than a decade ago. I went to her house in Venice and she sat me down with some other people and we did a 3-hour tea ceremony and I absolutely hated it. I was like, I
What do you hate
am
about it?
never it was, well, 3 hours, no
I know
talking.
patience. Gosh, does tea ceremony
Yes.
teach you patience and allowing and surrender, right? And if you're not in that space today, tea ceremony is going to rub you up the wrong
Totally.
way.
I mean, let's just let people know they're not usually 3 hours. They're usually an hour, which an hour is perfect. But at that, she had just started and it was like, you know, we were just experiencing it. but I was just like, oh, my monkey mind could not
Mm.
handle it. So I was like, okay, I'm never doing that again. And then, as fate would have it, there was a baby shower, baby blessing at my house for our dear friend, and we were doing tea ceremony. So I was like, oh, here I am again. I have to sit for hours. But that time, well, it was shorter than 3 hours, but that time I couldn't stop crying because I realized it's like a rusty faucet, and like you have to get all that rusty water out before it runs clear, right? And it's like a meditation. And
Mm.
and I was that, and then I realized, oh, this is how I can meditate. Like Kundalini, it's very hard for me to just sit and meditate. I can do it,
Yes,
but it's hard.
likewise, likewise. I have to do mindful.
Are you monkey? What's your Chinese?
Oh, please, no, no. I'm an ox. I'm a water ox.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, dissect that one. Yeah.
I know. I would have thought you were more monkey. I don't know why. It's
Well,
so
I've
full.
definitely got a monkey. I can definitely have monkey mind.
Yeah, but just that, like, you know,
Oh yeah, look, because I'm a 7. I'm an
mischievousness.
Enneagram 7. You know, with a strong 8 winger and a 1-to-1 subtype. Like my mind is constantly going on to the next thing, onto the next thing. So tea ceremony is really beneficial for me because it
Mm,
just is such a beautiful invitation to slow down,
so beautiful.
allow, surrender, be
Yeah, and
patient,
drink tea.
savor the
Yes.
moment, savor the flavor, savor the tea. You know, I mean, it's just
Mhm.
an exquisite ritual,
A
but you do
beautiful
need
one,
to surrender to it.
definitely. There's many that do it in your around you, right? I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
it's popular there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I
Oh.
love that it's moving its way into the mainstream now more than it was
Hmm.
before. We're
Yeah,
not
I
there
would say
yet,
so.
but
Right.
it is really beautiful. So you really took to that.
I did. I loved it. I loved it. And I loved it so much that I studied and went to China with our
Yeah.
tea community, Global Tea Hut. And that was trip of a lifetime. It blew me away because, well, I had never been away a long time because of my kids.
Mm,
It's the first time as an adult I was away for more than, it was a 2 week trip. And, I was on a bus with like all these strangers, like 30 other strangers with a backpack, like, like China. It's not like for the faint of heart,
yeah.
it's like there's no Google, there's no email, like you can't, like it's a whole another planet. But I really surrendered. Like that's the word. I was able to
Mm,
surrender and really grasp. Like I allowed the tea to lead me and to
mm,
support me and show me, and because that's how passionate I was about the practice. And it was amazing. Most of the people on the trip were Russian, interestingly enough, and
mm.
it's like amazing how you can connect with people without language.
Oh, yes. I
Without
love connection that transcends language.
How
Mm,
beautiful. Like how often do we get to
mm,
do that? Not enough.
mm. Not enough. Not enough.
Yeah.
The thing about tea too in China is the way they steep the tea, paddle the tea, the different temperatures to brew
Oh,
the tea, the
oh, it's
ritual,
yeah.
because I'm part Chinese.
Yeah.
It there's
And
something.
Malaysian too.
Yes,
Malaysia too.
yes.
Huge
And
tea.
Japanese. And you know
And
what I
Japanese.
mean? Like different matcha, different green tea, different black tea, different all kinds of tea. And you just go, oh, this is a culinary universe in and of itself, like
Oh, yes.
cheese, like wine,
Right. Right.
like
Like wine.
herbs.
Yeah.
You know, so you going back to what you were saying about that time when you went with Deborah to the farmers market and
Oh,
this portal of discoverability opened for you. And likewise with discovering these ingredients, going back to
mm.
that metaphor, what was it about being on that trip where the ingredients of the connection that transcends language and the listening and allowing the tea to guide you and also just the practice of preparing the tea in and of itself, how was that a real turning point for you, that trip?
I think it showed me that I could that I could do it, to be honest, because I think we get so complacent in our lives, especially these beautiful lives that we are, honored to have, with the organic mattress and the bottled water and
Mhm.
the ozonated bath water and the
Yeah.
organic food the ability to like
Oh, you're sounding really goop now, my
biohack.
friend.
I know. But you get thrown into a place like China where it's like MSG in the food and
Mm,
things that you cannot control. By the way, China's very clean. Like I was expecting like this polluted dark haze of, I mean, maybe in the cities more, and we did
mm.
spend a little bit of time Beijing, Shanghai, but the country, I mean, it was so clean. I couldn't believe how clean it was, the rivers and the streets. And um, but so I think it really taught me that, these things sometimes, like I think being in the wellness world and the biohacker, I mean, we get addicted to our stuff, and we sometimes may not think we can survive without our echinacea tincture and our MSM sulfur. And I mean, I certainly do. I rely on these things probably like a crutch, and I'm being very honest. Like I have an addiction to my wellness things. So I think it was a very good reboot to like show me, oh no, you can live, you can be free, you
Oh, and
know,
also be very simple.
very simple. Backpack, total
Mm,
simple. Yeah,
mm,
Yogi Bhajan used to say, travel light, be light,
mm.
and I think, even though I know he's very controversial, I'm not saying, but he did come up with a few really good ones like that,
Yes.
So I do travel light. I never check in luggage, ever, ever, ever. And I really try to like, it's so hard, but I really try to like, do you travel light or heavy? I can't imagine.
Oh,
Yes,
I travel light now for sure.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I just realized that I wear the same 5 things in my suitcase, no matter what I pack. So what's the point in
Right.
packing all of it? I mean, it's
Right.
a waste of time, right? And I mean,
Right.
when I decided that I was going to relocate to Australia, which I thought was temporary, I literally sold almost everything. My entire life fits into 30 boxes now, and it is so freeing, I cannot even tell you. Yeah, it's so freeing. It is
Ah,
incredibly freeing. I'm very nostalgic, so of course I came home, there's things from my childhood and so forth. But, I do want to ask you about this because it's really been coming up in my heart as we've been talking. The older you get, you become less interested in the persona construction and more interested in the sense of self.
mm,
And that it is a lot more simple and can be a
mhm,
lot more simple. And I find it
mhm,
incredibly freeing at this phase of life in my 50s.
mhm. I think it's luxury. I think the luxury now is to be simple.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like I think more and more. Like I look at my closet. I'm like, oh, what do I need all the, and believe me, it's whittled
Mm.
down too from all my previous lives. It's not as huge as it was, but I just think about,
Yeah.
I think it's a luxury to be able to have everything very simple and organized and curated. And I have a couple friends that I'm very envious of because they're so good at that, and I don't
Mm.
know if I'm quite, maybe the actress in me still is like, well, that one vintage dress, I still may want to be,
Yeah.
I still may want to be Miss Julie and like, in my mind. So I need that
Yeah.
cloak,
Well,
but
you do have the best dress collection of anybody that I know. I remember staying with you in the Santa Monica house, staying with you in the next house, and there'd always be somebody coming to the door to borrow a dress.
ah,
Right? I mean, it was always,
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
coming to borrow a
that's true.
dress,
I love
literally
fashion.
borrow a
I
dress.
do. I do love
And
fashion.
you do have a fabulous dress collection, but I want to ask you about going back to what you were talking about in terms of your grief journey after the marriage and how that's dovetailing in my heart right now in terms of this sense of luxury, because it was a very different life, going to a lot of award ceremonies and a lot of shows and being in that huge elite crowd of actors and all that kind of thing, to your very different life in Texas now, and how that journey sits in your heart now. So now that
Mm,
we're years beyond that particular part
mm,
of the grief journey that lives within all of us, Where does the joy and the grief sit in your heart now in your 50s in this incantation of you?
That's such a beautiful question. And I think it's a work in progress. I do
Mm.
think,
Of
you
course you
know,
would say that.
I,
You would say that.
well,
It's beautiful. I mean,
but I
yeah.
think that that's what I'm striving for is I
Mm.
realize, I'm sure you've gone through this too, when you reach our age, I always say we are young, we are old enough to know how precious it is and young enough to enjoy it. It's like
Mm.
this real perfect moment in time, right? Because we can
Mm.
see where it's going and we can see where we are. And thank God you and I are, relatively healthy. And I'm like, well, how many summers can we go climb a mountain? How many more
Mhm.
summers can we swim in the sea? How many more summer, like really, there's not, if you look at it on a chart, how many more, there's not that many. So it's like makes it so finite. So I really I really want to have more joy. That's been something that's like I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I do, think about this cycle in my life. And I really want to have more like hysterical laughing, like a child joy, because I don't think that it comes to us as easily, as it can. And when you realize how finite it is, and I think this is why, I mean, it makes me want to cry, but you and I loved Hamnet so much
Ugh.
because
Ugh.
it showed us that art is imperative for us humans, right?
Mm.
Art is imperative for our healing. And just that yeah, the sorrow, the grief and the joy, how it's like it's a part
Mm.
of life, right?
Mm.
And the Buddhists say, they say there's a Japanese form of Buddhism that I think I don't know if you knew, that I practiced for a long time, gosh, decades. And they say simply, suffer what there is to suffer and enjoy what there is to enjoy. As simple as that.
Mm.
Like I know it
Yeah.
sounds so trite, but it's so true. Like you
Yeah.
can't escape the three sufferings, which is birth, sickness, and death. Old age and death. We cannot escape those. So suffer what there is to suffer and enjoy what there is to enjoy. So I really want
Mm.
to enjoy more. That's like my goal right now.
Mm. What gives you the most joy?
Hmm. Well, definitely this, believe it or not, because I am so isolated now that I really love this connection.
Mm.
It really does fill my heart because I mean, you take it for granted when you live rural, and you don't have that ability. But I would say, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think the last time I belly laughed, like when was the last time you belly laughed? Do you remember?
Oh,
I
this
know it was.
morning. I mean, I have to do it. I have to have that full embodied laugh at least once a day. I mean, it is like an orgasm to me.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so important, that full oxytocin rush.
totally.
And I will dance. I will do a static dance until I can get myself to that place if I don't find it somewhere else. Like I can, I have a practice where I will find it from within. And
You
often
will.
that's recollection of
Yeah,
things. But
yeah.
my friend, Dr. Annika Becker, calls it microdosing oxytocin and
Oh,
dining from the
okay.
oxytocin buffet. And it's just so important, because we just have cortisol, spikes all over the place from so many things that we're exposed to, particularly in the world right now. And it's just so important. Yeah. So laughing
Ah,
therapy. I remember the first time I did that, I went to a retreat in the middle of nowhere in Australia, and there was a laughing class, and everybody was just laughing for an
right.
hour, and there were people coming out of the mud pit, and we had to all rub up against each other like animals. And
Oh my
it's one of the
gosh.
recollections because I literally I felt like I was laughing cellularly,
I
and I was
love that.
laughing from a soul place,
I
and from
love
that
that.
childlike play, going back to what we're talking about with actors, that we get to play in this
Totally.
safe container where we're not hurting anybody, and you can say
Right.
whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do. We don't get to do that in life because people get hurt, and we don't want
Right.
to hurt other people. And that is
Yeah.
something so glorious about playing. You know, in a rehearsal space, you can be so brave and terrified at
So,
the same time and be making
so
these
good.
discoveries together. But to your point about Hamnet, gosh, what a glorious offering in the world
Uh,
that is on every level. She's a beautiful
mm,
filmmaker, but exquisite performances. But this idea, you know, and you and I have had many conversations over the years about this, the power of art to help us see and be seen.
mm,
And
yeah.
beyond a depiction of grief and life beyond grief or with grief, because I don't think we go beyond it. I think we
I
build a different relationship with it. And
Mm.
that's why ending on that frame of Jesse Buckley,
Ah, it
watching him
chills.
and knowing he is walking away and yet he is
Oh,
with me, he is of me, he is above
you're
me, he
making
is
me
around
cry.
me,
I
right?
know.
I mean, to me, that last frame, it is the most perfect way to
Mm,
end, in inverted commas, that movie, because that movie lives within us forever.
oh,
That's the power of great art, right? I will be thinking about that, living it, seeing it, breathing it, drinking it forever in and around my own experience of what it means to be human.
hmm exactly. You just put it perfectly. And that's why it was so touching. I feel, like I said to you earlier, I think she's one of us, the director.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's obviously deeply connected to nature. And I heard her talk about chakras, you know, and
Yeah.
like, she's like one of us, you know, she's like
Yeah.
so in tune.
Oh, and she doesn't push
Right.
anything. When you
Yeah.
watch her speaking to the actors, you hear Steven Spielberg and Sam Mendes speaking about just servicing her and letting her do what she does as producers when they're both brilliant directors.
I
They're
know.
very different directors, and they're
Yeah.
able to elicit extraordinary performances out of people, as
Yeah.
we have seen time and time again in their work. But with her, when you see the footage of her on set with these actors,
I know.
there's a surrender there, going back to what we've been speaking about. There is a surrender. And she talks about the co-creation aspect of it, where she
Mhm.
recognizes that we are part of something bigger.
Definitely. And that's what
And it's
great
so evident in her
directors,
work, isn't it?
definitely. But great directors say, I mean, I think it was Peter Brooks who said, you rehearse, you rehearse, you rehearse. And then once it comes to the day of the opening or shooting, you throw it all out.
Yeah.
You throw it all out. And I think that's probably her work. You know, they did all the work and it's all there. You just trust it.
Oh, trust. Oh, that's what I was just about to say as you were saying, that she
Ah,
trusts herself. She trusts the process. She trusts her actors. She trusts
ah,
the script, the writing. I mean, oh my God. I mean, we could have done an
I know.
entire
I
episode
know.
about our love
Just on
for
Hamlet.
Hamnet. So, dear listener, if you have not seen that movie,
Yeah,
oof.
go see it and see it in the theater if you can.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been
Yeah,
twice and I
I
think I'm going to
know.
go again.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it.
Like it's
I'd
what a
go with you. I'd go with you
glorious.
if I could. Yeah. And the
Well, oh, I
music.
would go with you. Can you
Ah,
imagine the two of us? We'd be squeezing our hands
ah,
together and oh my God, like rubbing our shoulders up and oh my God. Like I'd be passing you a tear from my eye. You'd be
yeah,
passing me one of yours. I mean, it's
totally.
just,
It's
oh
extraordinary.
my goodness.
Yeah.
So something that's coming up for me as I'm talking to you is this idea of practice, and that we're
Mm,
in process, and this idea of practice and play and
mm,
surrender and listening. And you do have daily practices that you anchor yourself to and you share beautifully on your Instagram
thank
and other
you.
places on your Substack, which I want to ask you about in a minute actually. Take me inside some of the practices and what they do for you on a
Mm.
daily basis.
Well, I think, I'm an Aquarius with a Gemini rising.
Mm,
So I think I'm naturally in the ethers, in the
mm,
air. So for me, I need grounding. Like I need structure.
mm,
That's like something that really I need it to thrive. And having had children young, that was great for me because it gave me, like, I knew I had to have breakfast, this, it gave me such a structure afternoon, like, and now that I'm an empty nester, it's been a little bit of a transition because I don't have that schedule really. I have to really be disciplined with myself. So these rituals give me that, like every morning I will wake up and I will do, I have to, the phone is such a beast of a devil. You have to really, I mean,
It's like
that
that
is the
toxic
real,
boyfriend where the sex
oh,
is so good, but you just know you got to break up with him.
I know. I actually was just saying LA is like a little like that. The last time I was in
Yeah.
LA, it was so seductive there. And I was like, it's like that beautiful woman who's so beautiful and just like voluptuous and chic and stylish. And then you realize she has a personality disorder.
I like your analogy better.
It slowly dawns on you. You're like, oh gosh, she might be like bipolar or borderline or this or that. Like suddenly it like
Oh,
dawns on
God.
you.
Oh,
That's my
thank you for
home.
my second belly laugh of the day.
And by the way, I love Los Angeles. It's like my home. But I do think there's something
Oh,
so, beautiful about it that's, hides it. So anyways, the mornings, I do love the mornings when I'm disciplined. I wake up. What I will do is have a little bit of water, with sea salt, lemon, just to get the body going. And then I should wait longer, but I don't. I need my tea like ASAP because I need it to wake up further. So I will make a few rounds of my tea, and I watch the sunrise, which I think is so important
oh
for our
yeah.
health, like the circadian rhythm, like to watch the sunrise and the sunset is, if you can do those things, it's free. Like these things align your health, get you in a better
Mm,
mood, like get your health better. The vitamin D, the dark parts of our eyes is it's melatonin. We watch the sun goes into our eyes and creates melanin and melatonin in our
mm.
eyes. So it is so imperative for us. Most people do not get enough sunlight in their eyes. Um, and I'm not talking about direct sun, in the day
Yeah,
in like I'm talking about morning, sunrise and sunset. So I'll have
yeah.
my tea, I'll watch the deer and the animals outside, the sunrise. I'll play a mantra or I'll listen to affirmations. I'll try to journal. And then I'll do a little Kundalini set, just like a very short one, and then set intentions. And that sort of starts my day. If I can do those things, I feel much better throughout the day. So,
Mm,
and then
mm.
it's off to creating work and chores and things.
Gathering your water and your wood, as my friend Ava
Exactly.
likes to say. Absolutely. There's no fire when you don't gather your water and your wood. Yeah, it's so
Definitely.
true. What what lights you on fire these days?
Hmm. That's such a beautiful question too. I've been trying to go back to my authentic self. And when I go back to my authentic self, which was, if I look back on my childhood, it was like the love of ballet, the love of like classical music, the love of things that are like, I feel like sometimes the European old world stuff doesn't, maybe now it's having its renaissance, but I feel like that lights me up for some reason. I don't know, the
Mm,
architecture.
mm.
And I do yearn for Europe sometimes. But what lights me up? Well, kindness for sure.
Ooh, yes.
Kindness is like, especially because, again, we're all like, I travel a lot from Texas to New Mexico to LA, and it just like everyone on their phones, it bums me out. Like being an actress, I know
Mm,
you're like me, you love human behavior. And now
yes.
with these damn phones, there's like no human behavior to watch. Everyone's like become these robotic so I do,
Everyone's
but
got
when
their
I,
heads down instead of their
yes,
heads up to actually
yes.
meet the world and meet
Ah,
experience and meet other people. Everybody has their heads and their necks down.
such a metaphor, such a
Mm.
metaphor. Right.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
agree.
acts of kindness. I mean, I've met a few people in New Mexico too. I've met a few older lady. I love
Mm,
striking up conversations with people that I think are interesting, and
mm,
that lights me up in my daily, and that's something I can do in my daily life. Yes, in some ways I fantasize, oh, I want to go to Paris or I want to go to Venice and like walk for hours. But then in reality, if I just go to my local grocery store and strike up a conversation with someone and have a moment of human, connection, that makes me happy for the day, for sure.
mm, mm. And with the Substack, what was that? It has to be me that, I have to do it. There is no choice. I
Mhm.
need to express and want to express myself this way because it is a beautiful Substack.
Thank you. I'm curious what lights you up though, really quickly.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Because I
Uh,
imagine it's going to be something like swimming with dolphins or something really incredible.
it's kindness and honesty and presence and people showing up however they're showing up today, whatever that means. And
Mm,
permission lights me up.
mm.
Consent lights me up. Endless curiosity lights
Ah,
me up.
I love that.
That's what I would say is curiosity really lights me up. My own curiosity, and when I meet and intersect with somebody else's curiosity, because we
Mm,
can't be sitting in curiosity with judgment.
yes, very true. Wow, that's very profound. Very-
So, and look, to be honest with you, Sheila Darcy and I spoke about this on the last episode. So it was fleshing that out with her. So, dear Sheila, I will
Mm,
credit her with holding that with me last week. But it's very very true. And so just paying attention without judgment and just with a gentle
mm,
curiosity. What's that about? Does that interest me? Why is that rubbing me up a little bit? Why is that making me uncomfortable? Why is that making me angry? Why is that making me excited? What's going on there?
mm,
And, more recently in the last 10 years, what lights me up is this ever evolving relationship with my body and
mm,
with nature and the larger forces that I have discovered and am yet to discover and that live within me, around me, and inside of
mm.
others. So I mean, there's a lot of things that light me up, and so I
I
just
know. Well,
continue
that's
to
what I
explore that. Yeah,
love.
that's what I love about you too, which is why I
Yeah.
asked you about it. But no, thank you for asking me. It's you and I could dance under the moon forever, you know and the sun
Definitely.
and the sun
And the
and
sun, yes.
yeah, it's yeah, look, and you and I will have many many more conversations. Thank you for how you show up in the
Oh, no.
world.
Thank
it's
you.
a it's a glorious gift, and I have drunk from the well that is you for decades now, and will be drinking
I
from it
know.
for
And we
decades
need to
more.
meet in person though. We need
I
to
know,
have
we
like
really
a,
we really do, and I would love to actually meet up with you in New Mexico
well,
because it's such a magical
oh,
place. I've not been there
please
in
come.
about 20 years, but I love it
Oh,
there.
please do. And that was the other
Yeah.
thing I was going to say. Meeting with other women is
Oh,
such
yes. The
medicine,
power and the camaraderie of other
right?
women.
And
Community lights
circles
me
and
up.
community.
Oh
Yes,
God, we could do another
definitely.
episode all about this, couldn't we? But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I
Yeah.
was thinking about the other day. We create community with shared humanity, not shared opinions.
Mm, yeah.
And there's something about being able to break bread with anybody.
Yeah.
If we listen with an open heart, we will
Well, that's why
find common ground.
traveling,
Oh yes,
because you do that, right? You have to do
yeah,
that. Have
yeah,
to
you do.
forced into it, hopefully.
Yeah, you do. You do. It's yeah. I always close every episode with the same question, which
Mm,
is when you have a dream in your heart and you don't feel like you have what it takes to make it happen,
mm,
what do you say to yourself?
mm. You have a dream in your heart. I would say to really sit with that dream because it can link you to another dream. It can link you, it can be a hint to something else that may be even more incredible and magnificent and able to achieve. So don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Perhaps it's not this one, but it might lead to something else. Almost like me wanting to be a ballet dancer more than anything. I mean, I used to beg God for hours, as a little girl, please let me be a prima ballerina. Please, I'll do anything, anything. Just please let me be a prima ballerina. And that wasn't my destiny, but my destiny was to be an actress where I could play a ballet dancer,
Mm.
which is like, so we don't know what will happen, but just keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Don't give up on your dreams, on dreaming itself. So I would say
Oh,
that.
yeah. I mean, I just feel like I'm always living in the dream. Being in the
Mm.
dream state is just a yummy, glorious thing. And I feel
You know
like you
what?
live in the dream state.
Well, I was thinking that today because, my life is so, I mean, it's not, to be totally honest and truthful and naked with you, Tess, it's not as glamorous here, especially where I live, in rural Texas and I mean, it's sweet, but it's not like glamorous. And I was thinking that today driving, I was like, yeah, but that doesn't take away from us creating that, a
Mm,
glamorous, amazing, interesting life within the realms that we're in. When you're doing laundry, you could be putting on a beautiful opera and folding the laundry and imbuing each clothing item with a prayer, of
mm.
devotion. When I go to let the chickens out, I could talk to all the trees and the fauna you are the director, writer, producer of your story, right? So it may not be as glamorous as, you once thought, but you can make it into whatever it is, that fairy tale in the moment. That's what I've been really trying
Mm.
to like hone in on.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's so funny, you know how there's certain words that are out there in the world, but you don't actually use them very often?
Hmm.
Glamorous or glamour is not a word that I use very often. I think it's come out of my mouth 4 times in my life. I mean, seriously, it's
Yeah.
just opened up this really juicy line of inquiry for me as you're saying this, because I think about you and I used to see you in all the magazines. You'd be on the red carpet, you'd be
Mm,
on the TV and, all the things with, every major star in the world kind of thing.
mm,
And yet this life that you have now, your heart feels more full
mm,
and more alluring and sexy and glamorous, if I'm going to use that word, to me.
mm, mm. Thank you.
And so I'm just curious about what your definition of glamorous would be
Mm.
now.
Yeah, I think for me, uh, I think we have to cultivate it. We have to cultivate glamour. We have to cultivate sensuality. We have to cultivate, so that's why for me, like, even if no one is watching me, I'm going to put on that silk robe and I'm
Mm.
going to, and I'm going to brush my hair and I'm going to put that rose oil in my bath
And
and
you're going to drink your tea from the most exquisite piece of one of a kind pottery, which is what
exactly.
you do. I love your collection of pottery. It's so
Thank
exquisite.
you.
You're not going to
So I
wait
think that's
until
like,
a special occasion.
no,
You're doing it on
no.
your own on a Wednesday morning, no matter what.
Yes, because why? I
Yeah.
mean, and it's also about self, right? About loving ourselves enough that it's
Mm.
enough. Do you watch the show ever,
Ooh.
Schitt's Creek?
Okay, Shiva, I think I've watched every episode about 37 times. I could recite every episode to you. That is how
Okay, so
much I love that show.
and
And the fact that
her.
it's called Rose Apothecary is so,
Oh my
is
God.
so right in
I know.
your world, right?
Well, my partner keeps referring to me as Moira Rose, and I think that's why
Oh,
her loss this week
oh,
was so hard on us. But I've been
Shiva.
watching her
Oh,
clips, and
oh.
that's like what she does. She glamour. She did not leave the glamour.
No,
She brought it with her.
it's so true. It's so true. And I mean, I feel certain knowing you the way that I do, you're gonna say me too. But when I woke up it was 5:31 in the morning. When I woke up and it popped up saying Catherine O'Hara has died at age 71 after a brief illness, is what I read. I felt like the ground had disappeared and cellularly I was changed and the world was different, just like I felt when I woke up to Philip Seymour Hoffman
Yeah.
passing. It was the same exact feeling for me because
Yeah.
the two of them, they broke the mold. But, there is nobody else like the two of them, in very different ways, obviously. And not to take away from anybody else's light and talent and so forth.
No,
But
no,
for
definitely.
me,
Oh,
yeah, I felt,
I agree.
isn't it interesting how artists can make you feel like you know them, even though you've never met them, or their body of work makes
Right.
you feel
Right.
like you know their heart. You know the
Mm.
shape of their heart. Or I felt like I had danced in the labyrinth of her heart and her soul for
Mm.
decades.
But when you talk about the belly laughing,
Mm.
that's she makes me belly laugh. That character,
Oh
Margaret.
yeah. Oh, doesn't she? I mean, you want to
I
talk about
mean,
yeah. Oh, thank you. There you go. To do the belly laugh every day, all you got to do is put on Schitt's Creek. It's
just put on,
true.
or there's like now there's compilations of her scenes, so that doesn't really, you just watch like 10 of her
Oh,
scenes of Moira in one,
I mean,
and you're
really, that's
just
the
like,
that's the thing that YouTube is the best for is the compilations. Let me tell you, I am like watching Schitt's Creek, Heated Rivalry. I'm
oh,
watching compilations. Like I can't even tell you. I mean, just
I know
yeah.
her
No,
range, her
It's
range,
such a
yeah.
great thread for you to pull on there because what a gift and what a gift laughter and comedy um and story is in general, going back to Hamnet where there wasn't many laughs.
Right, right. I know.
It just wasn't. And I found it just as fulfilling and the
Oh
world
yes,
just as rich and juicy
oh
and
yes,
beautiful. And I want to keep
gorgeous.
drinking from it. So, yeah.
And the music, Max
Oh, the
Richter. Oh,
music.
I know. I know the
Oh,
music is like, and I read
oh,
an interview because I served tea to Max Richter to that song, actually,
yeah.
that particular song, and I guess Jesse Buckley brought it to Chloe, and Chloe went to Max Richter and he said, but this has already been published, this song, it's not like,
Yeah.
let me compose a new one. And
Yeah.
they were like, no, it has to be this song, it has to be
Oh,
this song. And then when you
oh,
listen to it too, you just like,
oh,
of course, it's like,
oh.
I know I have
Oh,
chills just
oh,
thinking about
same, same.
that.
I
But
got goosebumps and I love them. I actually thought of you in one of the opening frames where
gee,
Jessie Buckley is lying
oh,
like a cocoon, like a
that's my
baby
favorite
in
in the tree.
the warm tree. And you just think,
Oh,
oh, come on. Like
I
just
know.
how she was born of nature, was of nature, will give birth in nature, will be. And I think that last frame of her when she recognizes that and she returns to the source, to
Mm.
spirit, to her communion with nature and humanity. And oh my God, we could
I
just
know, I
dissect
know.
this all day long, right? I mean, it was just, I know, it's what a glorious offering to help us connect with what it means to be human and the
Definitely,
power
yeah.
of love and connection and hope
Oh,
as the
mm,
antidote to any pain that
I
may
know.
threaten to kill us and
Especially right
extinguish
now.
our
Like I feel there's
desire.
so
Yeah.
much darkness right now in the
Yes.
world. Like it's just
Yes.
bombarding us. And it's like I almost feel like we have to protect ourselves. We have
Oh,
to protect our energetic field because it's like boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. So
Yeah.
something like that is even more of a beacon because I think we're just like starving. We're like starving children waiting for something
It-
beautiful.
I mean,
Oh,
it does feel like rain in the desert,
yes, that's wow.
art and creativity
Yes,
right now. And
yes.
it's very
So,
interesting that the dark forces want to extinguish creativity because they
mm,
actually know that it's the antidote to
of
all of this.
course.
They
I mean, the
know.
Greeks knew
Yeah.
this, right? It's
Yeah.
like definitely the antidote.
Yeah.
Yeah, the antidote. I think the antidote is creativity, curiosity,
Mm.
faith.
Love.
Those things, love, nature.
Mm.
Like these are the things that we cannot let the dark forces, whatever they may be, take them away
Yeah.
from us for
And,
sure.
to go back to the question of what lights you on fire, if we were to only be able to answer that in one word, it would be
Mm,
love, wouldn't it? Because
of
all of those things
course.
that you listed come under that umbrella.
Definitely love. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. We're so in our mind right now, especially with the phone and the news and the media, that we forget to be in our heart. I know for me,
Mm.
this is a real practice. Like I have to, you can do that with breath. You can do that with the rose oil. You can do that with the laughter. You can do that with watching a movie that makes you cry. But we have to get into our heart center chakras because we're so like up here. We're becoming
Mm.
these like robotic, who knows, maybe this is the plan, to make us into these AI creatures where we're not. Because imagine if we're heart centered. Wow. There's so much we can do.
Yeah. And when you are truly, truly heart centered, you cannot support some of these things that are going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I could talk to you all
I
day.
know.
And
Thank you,
I and we and we
Tess.
will. We will. We will. So thank you for this beautiful conversation and for the way that you show up in the world. I love you.
I love you. Thank you, Tess. I'm so grateful to know you.
Oh, that was like balm for my soul. I hope it was for you as well. I didn't have a choice. When you feel it has to be me, you don't have a choice. You just do it. And when you don't feel quite ready, tap into the healing power of food and nature and spirit and other women to discover your own medicine. I love it when she said, I had to become my own medicine person. And how chronic illness can be a doorway into deeper listening, not just symptom management, that healing begins when you listen and engage and activate your own medicine. And listening to your heart and your spirit and trusting that each thread will connect you to the next one. Her heartbreak led to the blog, which led to the wellness world. And then the skincare line came from that. And trusting in divine timing, that she got so many no's with her book, the doors were slamming in her face, and she could have run with, the world doesn't want my offering, which we all feel at some point when we get no's. And acknowledging that rejection is often just bad timing. It's not a judgment of readiness or worth. And that when she connected with that perfect publisher, and Artisan is a beautiful publisher, it was just green lights all the way. It just flowed so easily. And that's when you know it's right. And trusting your unique offering, no matter what anybody else says or does. Shiva Rose Beauty was born out of something that she'd been doing for years. She was making her own skincare at home for herself, and then she decided to share it with others. And trusting that her unique offering would be received by the world. And her rose oil is exquisite, by the way, as is the rest of the line. Honoring all the ways that you can share your story, that the vehicle may change, but the essence of your offering's the same. It's an extension of you and your love. I really, really honor and celebrate the way that she's always just getting in with the discovery and celebrating the ingredients of the story, whether it's people, food, oils, tinctures, animals, nature, spirit, and just dwelling in possibility with endless curiosity and choosing to find the joy and celebration in making each one of those discoveries along the way. And if you're easily distracted and find traditional meditation challenging, like she does, like I do, I've spoken about it many times on the podcast, try tea ceremony. I spoke about this as well with Kerry Kaligi in episode 62. It's a beautiful practice that is like a meditation. It teaches you patience and surrender. It's a really beautiful invitation to slow down and allow and savor the moment, the flavor, the teas. I loved when she said, I realized it's like a rusty faucet. It's like you have to get all the rusty water out before it runs clear. And that is what the process of discovery is like. And the beauty of simplicity, I really take that into my heart, that offer that we do get addicted to our stuff. And the luxury can be to be simple. And staying in your heart is a practice, like she said, connecting with yourself through breath, laughter, stories, expression, connection, getting off the phone, and actively practicing the art of play, finding that childlike sense of play and the belly laughs. How do you get those hits of oxytocin every day? What lights you on fire? Actively seeking out the medicine of women, the wisdom and the power and the camaraderie through conversation and relationships, circles, community, family, actively seeking out that medicine. And what she was saying about living in the dream state, I really take into my heart that it's not an act of escaping reality, but a way to meet it with curiosity and creativity and childlike wonder. That you are the writer, the director, and the producer of your story. So decide to cultivate an extraordinary life, and making each moment intentional is how you create glamour in everyday realms, that it's about loving yourself enough. I love the Moira Rose analogy that she didn't leave the glamour, she brought it to everyday situations. Putting on opera while you're doing the laundry, putting on that beautiful dress, getting in the bath, feeling beautiful and sexy on a Wednesday night just because. And the healing power of the arts. Oh, if you have not seen Hamnet, what an exquisite offering. Stories really do help us connect with what it means to be human. That curiosity and creativity and nature is the antidote to the dark forces that threaten our connection to ourselves and others. We have to protect our energetic field, as she was saying. So participate in the arts, read books, go to the theatre and concerts, watch film and TV shows, dance, listen to music, sing at the top of your lungs, draw, paint, sketch, write, whatever it is, do pottery, whatever it might be. Share your story. Put your imperfect offering out into the world and celebrate the stories and the offers of others, so that you can hold the tapestry of life in balance. The sorrow, the grief, the joy, it's all part of life, and we can survive and thrive through it all. Suffer what there is to suffer and enjoy what there is to enjoy. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Connect with Shiva, get a copy of Whole Beauty. It's a gorgeous book, and check out Shiva's skincare line and her products and courses. All the links are in the show notes. And leave a review and let me know what resonated for you with this episode. Reviews really help me get to new people, and so that they can see that this content is valuable. I'd also love to hear about a book or a movie that touched you so deeply that it made you take action on your It Has to Be Me. So leave a review or post a message in the Facebook group. I can't wait to hear.
I want to hear about your It Has to Be Me story. So head on over to ithastobeme.com/stories to share it in our free community. You can also join the conversations we're having about this episode and others. I'm Tess Masters. Join me next week and we'll dive inside another great story to help us go from dreaming to doing.